since there is still profit to be made from none, then I who will tread lightly on my own head without realizing, and you who empty out money from form without caring or realizing, and I who go about my day beating down like a sun or a factory without knowing or caring or realizing. And so we do, and we go about those shadowy things and their things, a battery, a fulcrum, a stack of sheet metal. We go between the light and the night, a personal assistant, a mound bed frame. We have no plot, we are completely ungrounded, nothing but dependent and changeable forms of praxis. There are still wild berries, bitter but edible, and root vegetables generally disliked, turned on their heads without realizing. There are still people who do not want to know what they want. There are still people who, like me, know how to earn enough money to reproduce themselves, but don't want to reproduce themselves that way or this way. There are still clients and patients and colleagues, all waiting for their moment in the sun, beating down like a sun made of chocolate and dreams and automation. I feel desperate to show you a category, but there are still people who have none. I feel full of impersonal compulsions, but it must differ, it must be unique. Advance on the hill of implacable concepts, a loyalty day, a demand for free speech. There are those of moralizing aspects, keen to point out our consistent defeat, but the meagre turnip, the meek rutabaga, can't be the only impossible vision. Go about your day as you really are, in the growing gulf of dying stars. There are still people who, like a long arc or a long march or a long day on your feet, appear to turn unfettered, yet there they are. And there in action still is the moon, imitating its own waxing and waning, making it difficult not to commit arson. I resealed the box that made you better. There are still people locked out of it, thus I reinvented the loaf of bread. There are still tactics like this roaming free. Bernadette sonnet. After, I had a dream that you knitted me a scarf, hat, and also that you made me a pair of trousers. Why the rigid mortification, made of stone but still walking? Can we do this without romanticising anybody? Can anyone who can see the wood for the trees escape a sensation of sovereignty? So much work to take writing seriously. Who is my friend and who's my lover? There must be some confusion. I'm walking in those concrete trousers, but I'm taking this to the top, to the senior vice-chancellor, pro VC, president and principal, and then higher, to the order of St. Cassia, who's fortunately dead, like the Lamb of God and therefore supreme. Bernadette sonnet. Oh, Cassandra, I had a dream we were together again, a previous life fluttering into my heart like books through the window, and with titles like Suffolk Miscellany, The Forager's Calendar, and Queer Saint, who can blame me? Sunshine, in the words of the survivor, worrying always about theorising and never living as we imagine our transformations fleshly, compiling inventories, taxonomies, catalogues and registers, hearing instead of music the words of the complainant, who this time IDs as a butthurt feudal lord. I wish merely to be someone like Brecht or Joan Didion or any New York school painter, or maybe sensuousness, which inexplicably people still love. That's a cheap shot, I know, but I did wash your dish. Accident, eyelid. Bernadette sonnet. I had a dream that we did transform. That, Lord, I can change as a commodity waiting to appear, and in the meantime getting laid in a countable way. I should have been accountable in the Empire Diner in Ionia in the 6th century BC, which is where my domestic troubles began. I said my DNA is not self-reproducing. He said that's my money walking home to a happy future, and it's the money I remember the taste of. It seems familiar, I think to myself, and then I think, and then I remember it's my money. But look around, there is no money walking me home. I do not remember the taste of you. I forgot to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all accountable, we say, but it can't be explained, except when you want to own it. If I could remember it all, I'd remember again. Sonnet. It's not Bernadette. Who can't write a sonnet made of Bernadette Fox sonnets? I had a dream we were both on fire and drowning in an envelope of Nightings outly. But no, look at the full moon accelerating. I'm lost, remembering an Alan Davies poem about cocks, cunts, and a line drawing of a woman making a bed, a masterminded cunt who said, "Come save me up, you can have me," she said, steampunk rising from the sheets. You Mr. 2020 fuck, you petty Pendergrass, you deistic whore, left only to emulate love's obsidian eyes to waltz thy sheets. Given it to be gone and to give room, given it to be gone and to give room, to giving it room. Universals. This is also a sonnet. I'll stop telling you they're sonnets. You'll know when they're not, right? When you're walking on a stage, the affirmation of a union. Should living offend the dead, or should I avenge thee? When you're walking on a star, manage not to get pregnant. I lied, I don't know who you are, or how to hear that differently. If Tyburn limns the vines of this great moving right show, to keep up the payments generationally, but I feel differently, and it does offend me. Manias. I dreamt I came from around here, buttercup, tall glass, reproducing, nothing I'm proud of, a right-wing policy think tank, a lilac banner, nothing I could forget not well, like acclimatizing to Soylent Green or AC Grayling. Is it true that the people or the public said that? When inverting the arc of history, do nothing that you do not well and wear it, all I would keep for myself, having become the result of a process and having produced results myself. It is right that cortisol is a turnkey operation, and that although these phenomena are not entirely new, acclimatizing to the recommendations of think tanks around here means don't come around here. Reveries. If a small increment would make you happier, bro, then I am your cab driver. Knock yourself out. You are Policy Exchange, a flagrant impersonation of a homing pigeon, but this illusionist ambivalence is the fool you feel yourself to be, and thus to have a temperament, to achieve buy-in, to love oneself, to have a sense of self. I'm willing to believe when all this is said and done, that 3/4 of people who say they have a dead life lived, but it's you I confide in the most when I have a temperature too shrill for the baby that's coming to nest on my knee. My father lies peacefully here. This application has no ideas intrinsic to itself. I might die on that hill, convoked to a state of excitement by something much larger than me. And I'll finish on this one. It's not a sonnet. That well of tears is mine, with a line from Tom Rayworth. No community is to me as I once caved into you. I said, beware, the diversion of the populace who think is nice maybe, unscrolling after death, and shut out of a more screen time, a common day of breathing, the cacti, the glass windows, and through them our lungs. And through them all ways of unseeing ourselves, and through them nothing in the whole word too secular for you, except old school criminals at the Free Mart Fair, the doctors batting away the stultifying air, the bad air and the heat of the boring poor, who were once the Free Mart Fair, who dares to pull to their lips a satisfactory reel and wresting of the ideal from your arms. You suck, I said, ouch, but wasn't ready to say why. Said could be worse for some or many, said lower than a vacuum in space, or could be worse for come what may, that well of tears is mine. Oh well, I wasn't ready. No community is to me, as I once said. I said, John, look down at your wet pants and what is coming there. That xenofeminist manifesto, a weight upon your heart. I said, Joan, I said, a bread riot is a bread riot is a bread riot is all that's keeping you from me, and all those ways of unfurling ourselves clockwise in the heat, because tyrants never quite complete the closure of the world system, that fullness they desire. Get off, you said. Ouch, but wasn't able to explain tuberculosis or common cold. No, you deserve this sick day, or that sick day. Go do one day. Wasn't Jane's abortion service awesome to behold? And free Winona, hold the phone. Oh well, oh well, oh well. It's the open secret that social classes hide. Though whatever singularity, that well of tears is mine. Thank you very much.